ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मत्तः परतरं नान्यत् किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगणा इव। This is what Lord Sri Krishna said in verse number 7, 7th chapter, 7th verse. There is nothing higher than me everywhere or anywhere in the universe. Whatever you see as great, eminent, excellent, extraordinary is supported by me, like a thread supports precious stones in a necklace. Elaborating upon it, we give examples. In water, I am that very quality that makes possible all the tastes in whatever we may drink or eat. I am the light in sun and moon. I am Om in the Vedas. I am sound in space and manliness in men, and so on. We came up to the 10th and then 11th too. We just took a quick look at 11th. Let's start with taking a look again at the 11th verse, where Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, Balam Balavatam Chaham. In another version, it is Balam Balavatam Chasmi. Not much difference. But what kind of strength is God in everyone, in anyone who is strong? Such strength which is free from selfish desire and personal attachments. Balam kama raga vivarjitam. What a beautiful adjective to the word balam, which means strength. Hiranyakashipu also had strength, and Prahlada also had strength. Mahavishnu was with Prahlada. And with regard to the strength of Hiranyakashipu, Mahavishnu took the form of Narasimha and killed Hiranyakashipu, who said, I am God, and there is no other God than I am, or than me. And he tyrannized, tortured his son Prahlada. Mahavishnu came and freed Prahlada from all the torment that he was getting from his own father. The pure strength. Hitler also had strength, Gandhi also had strength, but it is Hitler's strength which is full of kama and raga. Gandhi's strength was out of his upasana of what he saw as satyam. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. We deliberated on this a little bit last time, and picking from the first half where the word kama came up, kama raga vivarjitam, Sri Krishna says, I am kama, giving a jerk to the readers. Just now you said, I am strength which is free from kama and raga. And now you say you yourself are kama. Just now we blacklisted kama. Just now we labeled kama as wicked. But today, or in the second half of the shloka, you say you yourself are kama? How do you say that? Sri Krishna says, desire per se is not undivine. If there were to be no desire, the whole creation would come to a stop, to a standstill. People do things, people build things, people get progeny, people make beautiful compositions in different fields, in different walks of life. It is desire that makes things move. I am desire, but please note there is an adjective here too. I am that desire which is unopposed to dharma, not opposed to what is right. Desire can be right, desire can be wrong. Anger can be right, anger can be wrong. Therefore, in the case of both desire and anger, one has to see whether it is right for the right thing, in the right way, in the right measure too. For example, in the context of anger, they say there is destructive anger, which ruins relationships. Then there is good anger, constructive anger, which protects, which actually saves, which guards, which ensures that there is discipline in places. If bosses were not to show any anger any time, the world being what it is, people will take wrong advantage of the bosses. Therefore, leaders, managers, bosses have to express anger. Likewise, coming back, kamaha, when it is serving the cause of dharma, when it is not opposed to dharma, is divine. Bhagavan puts a stamp of approval on right desire. Dharma viruddho. When you split the sandhi, it is dharma plus aviruddha. Savarana dirgha sandhi makes it dharma viruddha. Bharatarshava. Oh, the best among descendants of Bharata. Rishabha literally means bull, but here it means the best one, strong one. Shankaracharya explains this. Balam means samarthyam, capacity. Ojaha, certain competence. I am the strength in those who have strength. Tacha balam kamaraga vivarjitam. Kamascha, ragascha, kamarogo, rago. Kama and raga. What is kama? Acharya Shankara patiently explains it. Kama, Trishna. It is the longing for what we do not have. Sannikrishta means what is near us, that means what is with us. Asannikrishta, what is not with us. Somebody else has, or somewhere it is, and we want it. And raga is after having something or getting something, when we don't want to part with it. Ragaha ranjana prapteshu vishayeshu. Aprapta vishaye kamaha prapte vishaye raga. You don't want to part with it. You stick to it. You cling to it. You just say, this will always be with me. How can that be? The rule of nature is things come and things go. Therefore, in an unintelligent way, you and I have desire for things which are not appropriate for us to have, and then attachment to things which we better let go. We have had it for some time, now pass it on. Somebody takes it, let him or her enjoy it. So a sadhu, Shankaracharya comes to the context of a sadhu. Dehadi dharana matrartam balam. Sattvam ahamasmi. Here please note, he is narrowing down to sadhu sannyasis of a certain kind. Sadhu sannyasis, there again, such sadhus and sannyasis who have literally fully walked away from home and earth. They may be in the Himalayas, or everything doesn't have to happen in Himalayas. They can be at the southern tip of India subcontinent, Kanyakumari, Rameshwaram. They can be in a hot place in Andhra Pradesh or Kerala. Maharshi Ramana never went to Himalayas. So it is wrong and sometimes an unnecessary exaggeration to say all rishis and sages and great people were on the lap of Himalayas. There were quite a few, surely, but as regards the country called India, let me tell you, in this country, we have had saints and sages in nooks and corners of the country. Everywhere, Orissa or Bengal, name it, there are extraordinary saints when you open the pages of that region. Now coming to Dehadi Dharana Matrartham, as applicable to certain sadhus who have chosen to walk a certain path. Not all sadhus and sannyasis, especially in modern times, are keeping away from possessions to that extent, though in their own way they minimize. Sometimes to play out their responsibilities. A sadhu might be a matadipati, a sadhu might be presiding over an institution, and to discharge his or her responsibilities, the sadhu may keep certain possessions, and we are not to hurriedly judge the sadhu. The sadhu knows best. His heart knows, and he has to be true to his heart. It is his responsibility. God willing, he himself sees. I should not be keeping so much of possessions. All right. Ragaha Ranjana Prapteshu Vishayeshu ताभ्याम कामरागाभ्याम विवर्जितम देहादि धारण मात्रार्थम बलम सत्वम aham asmi. Sattvam can sometimes be a synonym for balam. Natu yat samsarinam trishna raga karanam. He talked about sadhus, renunciant people. Now he talks of householders. And again, this doesn't apply to all the householders, but yes, a good number of householders. A good number of householders, because that is what Maya does. With all good intentions, alas, they do get very attached to their possessions. Very attached to their possessions. Once I was sitting at the residence of one Sharmaji in Santoshgarh in Himachal Pradesh. A young lady came, a relative of theirs, I guess, and started talking. She was a married girl with one or two children, but she started talking like a sadhu. She said, we come with an empty hand, we go with empty hand. Why are we so attached to land? We are attached to money, etc. And all of us were hearing. Then Sharmaji said, do you have some land with you? He said, yeah, I have some 10 acres of land. He said, if you are talking so much about why we are attached to land, why are we fighting, etc., can you give 1 acre of what you have to some ashram? She became quiet. She was on a wave of talking. But when it was suggested, give 1 acre out of the 10 acres you possess to a charitable cause. If you are talking of, how silly it is to be attached to land. She just kept quiet and looked at her uncle, Sharmaji, and said, we can talk about it later. So it is very easy to comment upon some brothers who are fighting over land, some father and son who are fighting over land or some other thing. But it is very difficult to let go of the little land that you have, the little bank balance that you have, the little items of pleasure that you have kept with yourself. Therefore, as even one finger points to others, we must know that three fingers are pointing towards ourselves. So many times the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita are not meant to judge and make mockery of others. It is more for our own introspection. Anyway, Shankaracharya talking about typical householders whom he calls sansarinaha, and sansarinam Krishna raga karanam is not what Sri Krishna is referring to. When there is strength which is totally free of I, me, and my, when there is strength which is for the cause of good of society, for lokahita, for benefit of others, he says, I am that strength. Kincha dharma aviruddha dharmena shastrarthena aviruddha. How do we know dharma? We should not ourselves interpret dharma. How can we ourselves be the player and ourselves be the umpire also? The umpire in a cricket match has to be somebody who is not among the players and who is not to belong to either party. Somebody who is totally impartial. You should not interpret the scriptures as per your own advantage, what is convenient to you. Study Shastra very objectively. If something doesn't agree with your conscience, discuss with competent people. Shastrarthena aviruddha ya pranishu bhuteshu kamaha yatha dehadharana matradi arthaha ashana panadi vishayaha sakamaha asmi he bharatarshava. Again, talking about the sadhus in any part of the world who have actually walked away from all unnecessary possessions, dehadharana matrartha, to keep their body in good shape, for that is needed for their sadhana. Sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. The body is the foremost means or the tool or the equipment in order that we may perform sadhana. And in the case of those sadhus, it would be such desire which is related to keeping oneself fit, not to fall a prey to the taste of food. The sadhu eats food which is all right, which is in good taste, that's about it. Doesn't want some particular taste and particular way and particular smell and all that. As long as it is fresh, it is good, and it is decent. Not that the sadhu has to eat food which is distasteful, which has no salt at all, or which is full of spice and so on. And no scripture asks a sadhu to go to that extent. Though some sadhus of their own choice may eat, especially for a length of time, for a year, for a few months, they may eat food without salt. It is some vrata that they have taken, God bless them, but that is not required, that's not prescribed for all sadhus. To have a certain moderate amount of salt or spice is all right. Finally, one has to be true to one's conscience, which is well informed by scriptures. Not a conscience which refuses to look at scriptures or good advice. Some people have a conscience, but that is not well informed because they keep away from any advisors or scriptures. Their conscience is educated by themselves without listening to any other source. That is a life lived in an enclosure. Open up, see what saints and sages, acharyas and gurus have said, and then your conscience gets educated. The educated conscience, I call it well informed conscience, is the right guide to what you should do. Now, completing this, Sri Krishna says a very beautiful verse which can be helpful, which can come handy even in our meditation. The 12th shloka goes, Ye chaiva satvika bhavaha rajasas tamasascha ye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mai. The first half talks about bhavaha. Bhavaha can be any entity. Bhavati iti bhavaha. Asti iti bhavaha. One of the meanings of bhavati is asti. Something there is. So chairs and tables also can be bhava. However, by force of context, it is the thoughts and emotions. It is thoughts and emotions that get translated to words and speech and then to action. So thought, word and deed, which are sattvic, balanced, sensitive, taking into consideration the good of the benefit of both sides or all sides, that is sattvika. Whereas rajasa is, though some people may admire the dynamism in somebody, upon going close, you may see that person is quite selfish, or that person is trying to project herself. That person has selfishness, personal ambition. I must shine. I must be famous. I must be very rich. Such things. Tamasa. Tamasa is idiotic, insensible, or meaningless way. That also from a distance sometimes may look good. But go close, you will pity the person. Tamasa. For detailed explanations of Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika, attributes, gunas, and their expressions, go to chapter 14. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. A very fascinating chapter that at once can also be an essay in psychology. Psychology, as you know, is all about human behavior. Human behavior can be rajasic, sattvic, or tamasic. And that's what Sri Krishna goes into in chapter 14. But here, with a rough idea of what is sattvic, balanced, rajasic, active, but having some impurities, tamasic, either inactive or if active, in a wrong direction without proper understanding, Tattvika bhava, Rajasa bhava, Tamasa bhava, all of them mattaha eva. They rise from me. They come from me. I am the source. The entire creation comes from me, stays for some time, and goes back into me, says Sri Krishna. That is well said. We know God is the creator and God does the samhara and God maintains, protects, keeps this creation running. All that is fine. But now comes the last part of the shloka, which is a bit puzzling. Natu aham teshu te mai. Literally it means, let's take the first one, te mai. All the sattvika, rajasa and tamasa bhavaha, things, thoughts, emotions, words, actions, including objects, this and that. All of them, mai, they are in me. Te mai, which is fine. God is all pervasive. What makes it puzzling is natu aham teshu. I am not in them. I am not in them. Aham teshu na asmi te mai santi. Oh, how is it? Elsewhere we find Waves are in water and water is in waves. Both ways. Waves are in water and water is in the waves. So why not Sri Krishna say, Sattvika, Rajasa and Tamasa Bhavaha are in me and I am in them. But puzzling us, presenting a riddle in front of us. Sri Krishna says, Aham Teshu Na Asmi. A Tippanikara writes, as Satchit Ananda, Bhagavan of course is in all these three. Then in what sense is he saying, I am not in them? Puja Swami Chinmayananji used to put it nicely. In their birth I am not born. In their death I do not die. In their rise and fall, I don't have any rise and fall. I remain the same. My grandeur, my magnificence, my happy nature, my ever content, ever full nature does not change even by an iota when thoughts, emotions, words, deeds, etc. change. In other words, amidst all changing scenarios, I am the changeless presence. Therefore, in a sense, I am everywhere, but when I say Natu aham teshu, what is meant is I am not involved in their joy and sorrow. Their joy and sorrow, their tears, either of celebration or of mourning and weeping or crying, their tears are not mine. I have no tears for some defeat there, or I don't have tears of joy at some achievement here. In that way, please note, Bhagavan says, I am apart, I stand apart, my own creation. That's about it. But it's a very powerful line. Natvaham teshu temai. That's why I said this shloka can come handy even in meditation. You can have a morning meditation on this shloka. Sit down and contemplate on this shloka. In me, sattvic thoughts arise and fall. Rajasic thoughts rise and fall. Tamasic thoughts arise and fall after some time. They come and go. As they come and go, nothing happens to me. I am pure awareness. I am the light that illumines them all. Natvaham teshu tevai. What Sri Krishna said about himself can be applied to every meditator who has studied some Vedanta. Adi Shankaracharya says, Kincha, further, Yecha eva sattvikaha sattva nirvrittaha. Nirvritta means made, brought about, not nivritta. Nivritta is retired, withdrawn. Please see the preposition nir. Nirvrittaha bhavaha padartha. Padartha, objects, and padartha can be thought, feeling also. Sukshma padartha, sthula padartha, subtle or gross. Rajasaha, rajo nirvrittaha. Everywhere nir is. In Sanskrit you have nirvritti, nivritti, and nivritti. No double tha, nivritti. All these words have different meanings. Here it is rajo nirvrittaha, made of. You take a piece of wooden article, this is made of wood. You take a piece of golden artifact, this is made of gold. Other day at a beautiful retreat facility in Bengaluru called Ritambhara, I thought the floor in the satsang hall is made of wood. And then The head of the institution smiled and said, "No, it is tiles which have a wood finish. It looks so good. All yogasanas are done there. Vedanta classes were held there. Morning meditation was held there. Yoga was taught in that very hall by Datta Prasad for those 10 or 15 participants that we were. Have a beautiful hall in Bengaluru. Ratambara is a nice facility in a village area. All very quiet all around, and the facility is built so well, so beautifully, maintained so well. A sattvic atmosphere, sattvic food is served. One of the classes we had below a tree also, just for an hour. All other classes were in that hall, and the floor looked like wood, but it was wood finish, but it's tiles. Otherwise, he said, maintenance is a very difficult thing if it's real wood. So this has a wooden finish. And to do yoga, etc., anyhow, yoga mats and Vedanta classes, people have seats, chairs, and so on. But the looks were very good. All right. So we have Nirvritta means made of rajas, made of tamas, made of sat. ये केचित् प्राणिनां स्वकर्मवशात् जायन्ते भावाः तान् मत्त एव जायमानान् इति एवं विद्धि समस्तान् एव. Praninaam, you and I are living beings. We are called prani. Even human beings are prani in this context because pranaha yasya asti saha prani. Whoever has prana functioning. Praniti means one breathes. Aniti itself means breathes. Aniti is a verb. Aniti. Add pra upasarga. Praniti. So you have prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. All of them have the word ana. Pra plus ana or pra plus ana is prana. Apa plus ana, apana. V plus up, V plus a plus ana, vyana. Ut plus a plus ana, udana. Sama or sam plus a plus ana, samana. So prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana are the 5 forms of vital energies. Then there are some upapranas also, Devadatta, Krikala, Dhananjaya, etc. So you have all these details in Prakarana Granthas. Pranina, all of us who are living beings, whether it's an ant or a human being, lot of things happen. In a very powerful statement, Sri Ramana Maharshi said, if you win, if you lose, victory and defeat, they have nothing to do with what you do. They are your prarabdha. In this life, where you win and where you lose is result of past karma. So you may feel very bad, oh my, I lost because I am responsible. You may blame yourself. I did not put in enough effort. It seems it was you that was responsible this time. Some other place you won, you feel you had put in, you had done all the homework. Or sometimes you may say, my good luck. When you say good luck, it is prarabdha. So, a very interesting statement. It is you are destined to win. Prarabdha. So Shankaracharya says here, Swakarma Vashat. So that is actually on a higher plateau. So after studying such statements of higher plateau, you and I should not say, oh well, if I am destined to win, then why should I do any preparation? If I am destined to win anyhow, I will win. If my prarabdha is to win anyhow, I will win. If my prarabdha karma, that is the result of some karma done in past lives and so on, is such that I have to win in this project, I have to succeed in this project, then anyhow I will succeed. Why should I do anything? No, it is wrong thinking. You, number one, should not think like that. Number two, if you think like that, it won't last. One day you will be lazy, then you will be filled with fear. Oh my, I don't know, the holy books may say some high philosophy, but I better do my part. Then by nature you will get up and do. So whatever, you win, let us say. If you understand the high plateau teaching that your victory was result of prarabdha karma, not so much because of what you did in this life, then you will smile and do not get proud or arrogant. Same way, suppose you fail in some venture. After putting in whatever effort you were capable of, and you failed, the high plateau teachings come along and help you to be free of sense of guilt, shame. Oh, again, I was so disorganized. I did not work properly for this project, and therefore I failed. Oh, I am always like that. What a wretched person I am, etc. No. You recognize, yes, I did not work enough. That is one part of the story. But this defeat, this failure, this loss is because of my purva karma. So somewhere you get a laddu to eat, somewhere mistaking you to be a thief, police arrest you and later release you. So pleasant and unpleasant things happen to you because of your prarabdha. High plateau teaching. Do not mix it up with your purushartha. Do your best always. Walk the path of dharma. Try your best to abide by what is dharma. Don't play with it. Playing with dharma is like playing with fire. Do your best. Do the right thing always. Say the right thing always. Even in thinking, welcome and encourage good thoughts. Slowly get out of all these illusory world's ways. You may be fond of cinema songs, let go of them. You may be fond of food in restaurants, let go of them. You may be fond of dance and music. Slowly prepare yourself to go away from them. In place of all these things, engage in God related music or dance or songs. Take Bhagavan's prasad. That is the food that should delight you. It's possible for you to change your ways, and your Purushartha is a must. Purushartha you must. If you say, but why? But if it's Prarabdha, then if anything were to happen at the right time, irrespective of my effort, why should I put in effort? We say God decides as per your karma what you should get or what you should not get. That part is right. But it is God who says to you, sitting in your heart, do japa. An old cinema tune comes in on your lips. The inner conscience says, drop it. Instead of singing that old Muhammad Rafi song, stop it now. You sing Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishnadamodaram Vasudevam Harim Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. Develop a taste for such stotras, such bhajans, and so on. Wherever possible, whenever possible. Don't say we don't have time. The human mind is full of excuses. In fact, time is served on a platter, as they say. Lot of time in daily life is served on a platter to you. In your confused state of mind, you say no time. Yesterday I flew from Bangalore to Mumbai. and the checked-in bag took its own time to come on the belt. I was about to start one old Hindi tune. Then I myself said, enough of this. And I sang Ramana Maharshi's Upadesha Sara. I happened to know it by heart. Karturajnaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam kriti mahodadau patana karanam. I completed it. Then also my bag did not come. Then I went on humming some bhajans. And some bhajan I was not able to remember, but I wanted to sing. I used to sing it a lot. Not even getting the first line. Try. Then I suddenly remembered. Radhe Krishna Kunja Vihari Muralidhara Govardhana Dhari. Once you get the first line, you get all the lines generally. And then something else. Oh, finally, the bag came. After some 20-25 minutes, not too much. So 20-25 minutes was served to me on a platter by God, and I had the choice to sing some old song, Hemant Kumar or Rafi or Mukesh, or to sing Achyutam Keshavam or Karturajnaya. Our Purushartha we must do. We must do. All of us, wherever possible, exercise choice in favor of Sattvic, in favor of God or directed, God related or Brahmajnana related activities. But then it is true. If you are garlanded or if somebody throws a rotten egg at you, that is prarabdha karma of past lives. That is the view of Sanatana Dharma. You must study it properly, otherwise it might look a little jarring. When you study properly from very competent teachers like Swami Paramarthananda in these days, he can explain Shastraic concepts in an excellent manner. You have to be patient with him though, very slowly. Technically sound definitions he would give. Ask him who is God. He would say Nimitta Upadana Abhinna Karanam Vishwasya. God is the cause of this entire universe, who at the same time is not other than the efficient cause, not other than the material cause. A little technical definition. Whereas popular teachers say, oh God, God, generator, organizer, and destroyer. God generates or creates, God organizes or protects, and at the right time, God destroys this universe. That is okay, no, not wrong, but abhinna, not different from efficient cause, not different from material cause. To quickly complete that, you have a pot. In a pot, there is the material cause, the clay. There is the efficient cause, the potter who made that pot. And in the case of God's relation to this universe, God is the efficient cause, He made it. Where did He get the material? He Himself is the material. He is the efficient cause, like the potter. He is the material cause, like clay, in everything in this universe. He is not bhinna, he is abhinna. Nimitta upadana abhinna karanam and such definitions. So when you study all this and do necessary japa, tapa, upasana, not just stuff philosophy in the head and live in a wanton way, then something happens. You will be rising to a higher level of awareness. Your perception of situations, events changes. So coming back, Sri Krishna says, Praninam swakarma vashat jayante. Because of your past karma, certain sattva, rajas and tamas rise. But you have purushartha. You can let go of tamasic thought and you get into a Rajasic or even better, Sattvic thought. Natu aham teshu. I am not in them, which means Natu aham tadadhina tadvasha. I am not in them means when Sattvic thought rises and falls, I don't rise or fall. I don't have any up and down. Tadadhinaha na asmi tadvashaha. That means tesham vashaha aham na asmi. I am not at the mercy of these sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic thoughts. They can do nothing to me. But they rise in me, they fall in me. I watch the show, I am aware of the show, but I don't get affected. But they are in me. They are, but for me, they have no existence. Te punaha mai madvashaha madadina, says Sri Shankaracharya. So tadadinaha na asmi, tadvashaha na asmi. Tad stands for tesham. सात्विकानां राजसानां तामसानां भावानां aham adhinah nasmi, whereas सात्विकाः भावाः राजसाः भावाः तामसाः भावाः mad adhinaः santi. They are completely under my control. I am not in their control. So Swami Chinmayananji was very fond of this line. Natvaham teshu te mai. I am not in them. They are in me. And he would explain it with great enthusiasm. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.